Burger King has made impressive strides since it first arrived in South Africa 2 years ago. Grand Parade Investments has rolled out nearly 70 stores countrywide. Now, the company has warned that it won't be profitable until at least the end of June 2017. Rapid rollouts are expensive. This is the MoneyMakers. I'm Bruce Whitfield. Tonight we look at the competitive landscape of the South African fast food segment, or quick service restaurant segment as they prefer to have it known. We've got the likes of Taste Holdings bringing international brands like Domino's Pizza and Starbucks to the country. Famous Brands is also massive in this country and is a dominant player across many categories. And of course, it's now taking its attention outside of the country with the R1.5 billion acquisition of Gourmet Burger Kitchen in the UK. Now, let's look at the investment being pumped into the market. I'm joined from our Cape Town studios by Dr. Hassen Adams, who's founder and chairman of Grand Parade Investments. When you first brought Burger King to the country, Hassen, you were quite conservative. Suddenly, there's 70 stores. It looks like you've ramped up the rollouts very, very significantly from those early days.
Yeah, well, good evening, Bruce, and good evening to your viewers. Look, at the beginning, we were a lot more aggressive. We said by now we would have 100 stores, but we've also learned how to cut our teeth into this industry and make quite sure that we don't go to a huge number of stores and then correct ourselves in terms of the mistakes that one make in this industry. With Burger King itself, you've got to understand one thing: the compliance levels is very high. So we had to import most of our product. Today, I can proudly say that we've built factories and supply centers that makes this product 98% local. And we've created a lot of jobs as a result of that, a lot of careers. And so we've learned also on how to roll out these stores. We prefer to roll out big stores like drive-thrus instead of the small little stores in value centers, because they are not as profitable as the larger stores. So when I say 70 stores, it means we've closed down some stores already, and we're at 70 now, but they are all very profitable stores, you know.
Now, this is part of a bigger strategy as well. I mean, you're creating the Grand Parade Investments, you're creating Grand Foods, which is as a subsidiary. What is going to be housed inside of Grand Foods?
Okay, the reason for Grand Foods is that we have seen through cutting our teeth with Burger King and paying for our school fees there, that there is a huge opportunity in the food sector. You know, with the evolving middle class in South Africa and a large amount of people who never used to go to restaurants or to QSRs are now using it because they're all, both the wife and the husband works, and it's an easy way to find the food of their choice. So what we've decided to do is to sell off our casino assets, or most of it, and start to look at this food opportunity as being a huge blue sky opportunity. So we've already started to introduce Dunkin Donuts. It will be ready by the end of the month. I mean, you'll probably see stores opening before then, and also Baskin-Robbins thereafter. And there are quite a few other supply and logistics going to be added to Grand Foods. And if you watch the space carefully, we're going to cause some serious disruption in the food market, because we have the war chest, we have the cash to go and buy up new products, and they don't necessarily have to be South African, imported products. I listened to Gugu once when she interviewed me, and she said, when are you going to start to do local products? Well, that's exactly what we're busy with now, but I unfortunately can't let you into this big secret. But you will see very soon an announcement being made where we're going to go big in the food industry.
Now, I mean, one doesn't like secrets being kept from us in the media, Hassen. It's not very, very sporting at all. But the global brands.
But can I? Yeah.
Sorry, you were about to disclose?
I'm not going to do a Donald Trump on you. You carry on.
That's a pity. Now, Hassen, we look at Dunkin Donuts. Krispy Kreme is here already. Mixed success. I mean, the store in Rosebank, I think, is at a peak on a Saturday, can do 8,000 donuts a day. The rest of the week, it's a fairly thin trade. Is South Africa ready for this mass Americanization that we seem to be seeing happening on our streets?
Well, let me just put our view forward. We don't believe that Dunkin Donuts is in actual fact what's going to drive the Dunkin brands. You know, what will drive the Dunkin brands is the success that they've had overseas, especially on the coffee side. They are the biggest sellers of coffee, and even bigger than Starbucks in America. And I've just come back from Dubai, and I've gone through a whole convention or conference there on coffees and so on. So the main focus is on coffee, and their coffee products are amazing. What we are doing right now is convincing Dunkin Donuts, or the Dunkin Donuts brands in terms of their coffee, that the beans are actually from Africa. You know, these Arabica beans are from Africa. So why must you take the beans off our continent, take it over to your country, go and blend it there, and then sell it back to us, you know? And we said, no, we want to really get into the coffee business, and we will do our own blending and roasting as per your spec. So we've got some agreement. They'll all be here next month for the launch of the first Dunkin Donuts, and we're about ready to rock and roll on even that side of the production, you know, which means more jobs, it's localized, and that's what I tend to do with most of these products. It's not a case of importing an American product, and you know what, as much as we pay the royalties, the product must be produced here.
Are you looking at a franchise model, or are you going to do wholly company owned? Because you're company owned through Burger King. Are you looking at franchise model at all?
Yeah, Burger King will shortly go into a franchise model. What we try to do in Burger King is to make quite sure that we can produce a very high quality product with the best efficiency and personalized service. We have achieved that now. Very shortly we will go out and onto a franchise model for Burger King too. But Dunkin Donuts is different. We are going to go into a franchise model in tandem with owning company-owned stores. So I think that will happen much quicker, and it's a much easier brand to roll out, whereas Burger King is compliant intensive, and you know, so you have to make quite sure that everything is absolutely perfect. Not that Dunkin Donuts won't be perfect, but it's easier. You don't need to freeze products. You don't have to, you know, you can do it much easier in smaller spaces, you know, and I think that's good for the franchisee, because it doesn't have that huge capex model like in Burger King, you know.
Now, it's a nice opportunity there for more entry-level franchisees. The franchise investment sector must be very excited about that. Baskin-Robbins, when does rollout start there? Because ice cream, I was stunned by some of the international brands coming into South Africa on quite a small scale. The likes of Hagen-Dazs, for example. The queues and the price per scoop are eye-watering. There's a great opportunity there for a franchise model too, surely.
Absolutely. This is by far the best product in the world. I'm saying this with a lot of tongue in cheek, because I've tasted it. I've seen what they're doing. We are going to now build our supply chain factories, and in Cape Town especially, we're building a factory where we're going to start to make all the ice cream cakes there in the form of creating theater, you know, where kids can come. We'll sell it to the retail market, and they can come with the restaurants and the hotels, and we will provide them with a dessert menu in ice cream, and with the most incredible cakes that you can't believe what they've come up with, and all sorts of macaroons in ice cream, and I can make your mouth water now, Brucey, but that's what we're doing. So we're creating a theater of ice cream to the retail market, where you can come with your kids and enjoy ice cream and see what they're going to have at their birthday parties. The restaurants can come and choose their desserts in ice cream. Off they go to the restaurants, and that will be made readily available to the market. Of course, we'll try and sell it in the supermarkets, and we'll have it all over the show. We'll also have our ice cream shops and parlors, which will also be franchised out in most cases. So it's very exciting, you know, for us in terms of having these world-class brands all tied up, ready to rock and roll now.
Okay, so those are the three that you're disclosing. Are there more foreign brands in the wings?
We haven't really tied up anything yet. We're in discussion with quite a few. I mean, we're trying to make quite sure that we don't cannibalize our own business. So if there are any more brands that we haven't got on our radar, then that's where we're heading, you know. Like there may be some brands in Japanese or sushi or any of those sort of things that we're looking at. I mean, you know, I come from the background of Cape Town Fish Market, so I know that market very well. But there is a huge potential there in terms of turning that also into a QSR opportunity for people to come forward, and we could, you know, make these pensioners become entrepreneurs. We can take students and make them entrepreneurs. And that's basically my aim. How do we create an environment where these people make their own jobs? You know, we're going into an era where job creation is important because, you know, you've seen with Kodak, you know, how many jobs were lost there. And you're seeing with the hotel industry how many jobs are being lost there. So the creation of self-sustainable entrepreneurs is very important to our country or our planet, let's call it that, you know. And that's what we're trying to do. We're on a responsible food journey to create sustainable employment, to have traceable products so that, you know what, we don't try and abuse the end user.
Hassen Adams, thank you so much for joining us. The founder, the chairman of Grand Parade Investments, the man who is bringing foreign brands and promising local brands also for the South African QSR segment. Thank you so much for watching this evening. Have a very good evening. Good night.